Hi everybody, it's Sarah from Miss Donnelly Reads. Thank you for checking in again today. What I have for you this Tuesday is a middle grades first read, The Skin I'm In by Sharon Flake. She's a fantastic writer, great middle school books, high interest to keep the kids engaged, and they're quick reads. So I always recommend Sharon Flake, Sharon Draper, Jacqueline Woodson, and Jason Reynolds to everybody first and foremost, and then we go from there. I think that it's what my students look for. It's kind of what they're interested in. So I'm going to share with you one of my favorites. Okay, so The Skin I'm In by Sharon G. Flake, Chapter 1. The first time I seen her, I got a bad feeling inside. Not like I was in danger or nothing, just like she was someone who I should stay clear of. To tell the truth, she was a freak like me. The kind of person folks can't help but tease. That's bad if you're a kid like me. It's worse if you're a new teacher like her. Miss Saunders is as different as they come. First off, she's got a man's name, Michael. Now, who ever heard of a woman named that? She's tall and fat like nobody's business, and she's got the smallest feet I ever seen. Worse yet, she's got a giant white stain that spread halfway across her face like somebody tossed acid on it or something. I tried not to stare the first day that Amazon woman teacher heads my way. See, I got a way of attracting strange characters. They draw to me like someone stuck on a note to my forehead saying, "Losers wanted here." Well, I spent a lot of time trying to fit in here at McClinton Middle School. I ain't letting nobody ruin it for me, especially no teacher. I didn't even look up when Miss Saunders came up to me that day like I'm some sort of information center. "Excuse me," she said. She's wearing a dark purple suit and starch white shirt with matching purple buttons. That outfit cost $300 easy. "I'm trying to find the principal's office. I know it's around here somewhere. Can you help me?" Before I catch my breath, my eyes ricochet like a pinballs bounding from John McIntyre's beady brown eyes right up to hers. I swallow hard, stare at her till John whacks me on the back of his arm with a rolled up comic book. "That away," I say, pointing up the hall. "Thank you. Now, what's your name?" she says, putting down her briefcase like she's going to stay here a while. Malika Madison the third," I say, smacking my gum real loud. "Don't let that fancy name fool you," John butts in. "She ain't nobody worth knowing." Miss Saunders stares down at him till he turns his head away and starts playing with the buttons on his shirt like some 2-year-old. "Like I said, the office is that away," I point. "Thank you," she says, walking off. Then she stops, stone still, like some bright idea has just come into her head, turns around and comes back my way. My skin starts to crawl before she even opens her mouth. "Malika, your skin is pretty, like a blue-black sky after it's rained and rained," she said. And then she smiles and explains how that line comes from a favorite poem of hers. Next thing I know, she's heading down the hall again like nothing much happened. When she's far enough away, John says to me, "I don't see no pretty, I just see a whole lot of black." But before I can punch him, he's singing a rap song. "Malika, ba-boom, boom, boom. We sure want to keep her, ba-boom, boom, boom. But she's so black, ba-boom, boom, boom. We just can't see her." Before I know it, 3 more boys is pointing at me and singing that song too. Me wishing the building would just collapse on top of me. John McIntyre is the smallest 7th grader in the world. Even 5th graders can see over his head. Sometimes I have a hard time believing he and me are both 13. He's my color, but since 2nd grade, he's been teasing me about being too black. Last year, when I thought things couldn't get no worse, he came up with this here song. Now, here this woman comes talking all that black stuff, stirring him up again. Seems like people be teasing me all my life, and if it ain't about my color, it's my clothes. Mama makes them by hand. They took it Oh, sorry. They look it too. Lopsided pockets, stitching forever unraveling. I never know when a collar's going to fall off or a push pin going to stick me and make me holler out in class. I stopped worrying about that this year, and now Charlize lends me her clothes to wear. I stash them in the locker and change into them before first period. I'm like Superman when I get Charlize's clothes on. I got a new attitude, and my teachers sure don't like it none. It's bad enough that I'm the darkest, worst dressed thing in the school. I'm also the tallest, skinniest thing you will ever see. And people like John remind me of that every chance they get. They don't say nothing about the fact that I'm a math whiz and I can outdo ninth graders when it comes to figuring out numbers, or that I got a good memory and never forget one single solitary thing I read. They only see what they want to see, and they don't seem to like what they do see that much. Up till now, I just took it. The name calling, the pushing and shoving and cheating off of me. Then last week, something happened. I was walking down the hall in one of Char's dresses, strutting my stuff, looking good. Then Char walked up to me and told me to take off her clothes. There was maybe 8 or 9 kids around when she said it too, including Caleb. I thought she was kidding. She wasn't. So I went back to the girls' room and put my own stuff back on. That's when I made up my mind. Enough is enough. I deserve better than for people to treat me any old way they want. But saying that is one thing and making it happen is something else. So you see, I got my own troubles, and I don't need no scar-faced teacher making things worse. But I got this feeling Miss Saunders is going to mess things up for me real bad. The Skin I'm In. It's fantastic. Give it a read. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.